Hey everyone, I am Jevon Wooden, CEO and founder of Bright Mind Consulting Group, where we help our clients take bold moves with bright ideas for brilliant outcomes. I'm a speaker, an author, and a coach focusing on business and leadership. And I want to talk to you about change. 77% of change initiatives fail in the workplace. It's not because there's a lack of talent. It's not because of a lack of planning. It's because we look at the uncertainty, fear, anxiety. All these emotions come and take over. And we're not communicating to our people well enough why the change takes place and how we see the change really empowering our organizations to enter the next steps and next phases of our future. In my talk, Turning Uncertainty to Opportunity, I walk you through a process that I use called the CLEAR framework that takes you through how to get clarity, how to label those emotions so you know exactly what you need to address, how do you evaluate your situation and circumstance so you're not focused on what you think is the issue. You're not taking feelings, you're looking at the facts and you're looking at the humanity that is going to get and move you forward. And then you're going to analyze the situation so you can choose 3 next best moves, and only then will you respond and take action. A lot of us, we move a little too quickly. We believe in those bold ideas. We believe that we can make the change work. But to do that, you will need everyone in your organizations to buy in. You need everyone from the analyst to that C-suite believing in that idea so they can know exactly how their situation and what they do ties into the bolder vision. Let's turn that uncertainty into opportunity. Let's believe in the possibilities. Let's move your organization forward together. My hour with you today, we're going to take those of you who are feeling uncertain, who are feeling confused, who are feeling stressed, discouraged. Let's see if we can make you feel opportunistic. And in the Army, we have a saying. We say, stay flexible. And the reason why we say stay flexible is because we understand that no matter how much we train, no matter how many standard operating procedures we put in place, no matter how great we say we are, we can't control everything. I was stationed in Kuwait at this time, and I was tasked with leading soldiers responsible for communications operations for what we call the Combat Aviation Brigade. So as you can imagine, any lapse in their communication could literally be the difference between life and death. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping good. They said communications were down. My first thought was blame, was panic. It's like, oh, this cannot be happening. We've been here 3 months, things were running well, all of a sudden we failed. But I had to gather my composure. And my internal state was going to affect the external outcomes. So I just paused 5 seconds, just took a breath so I can regain my composure, so I can be there and be present for them. Poise allowed us to get a different outcome. The first question is, what changed? One thing changes and it makes our whole life feel like it's just going on and we don't have any control and everything's uncertain and everything's falling apart. And that's human. For me with that business, I realized that, yes, I lost some revenue, I lost some customers, but what was it really telling me? The second question is, where is the risk? We are emotional beings. I know y'all don't want to admit it. I get it, but we're all emotional. That's fine, that's okay, that's human. To become rational, we have to actually consciously think about things. We have to slow ourselves down enough. So this question of where is the risk helps you identify how it's really impacting you. As you walk this path, there may be some things in the wake that you don't understand, but you have to dictate that you're going to continue to look forward and see the 1 or 2 steps that you can take in front of you to move forward. And the last question is about momentum. What's one quick win I can get over the course of this week? Just one. Just make it small. Momentum is the antidote for paralysis. Feelings are data. It's not a directive. Y'all ready to get into it? Clarify. We skip this step often. We usually go to the action side before we clarify anything, all right? Because we mistake the feelings for the data. So what we need to do is we need to make sure we understand what exactly the issue is. You want to cut through the noise, shrink through the stuff of your mind saying that everything has changed on me and this isn't going to work out, and take a moment to literally write out what the change is. Clarify the issue. The next one is to label the emotions of the issue. What were you feeling? Once you label, you take back that steering wheel. Because at first, your emotions, they're controlling everything you do. You are not operating at an optimal level until you're able to label and take control of the steering wheel. Step at it with style and grace. That's what I like to tell everyone. Just walk through the change with style and grace and vulnerability, because you're going to need it. The E is to evaluate. What do you know to be true? Not the assumptions. What is actually true? Instead of rushing, take a moment on this. This is one of the most important steps. This is where I had to take that breath and pause and scan my reality and see what was going on so I can really understand the challenge and not yell and snap someone's head off. I had to evaluate what actually was happening so I can assess the situation properly. And then you analyze the data that you get, the data that you pull in. You look at it and you say, all right, I gathered these facts. What are the 3 best actions that I may be able to take? Just 3. And then you can look at the pros and the cons. Assess it. What are some of the consequences that may happen? For me, when I assessed that if I went and I yelled at every single one of my soldiers, I realized they would not have done what I needed them to do. And they were already flustered, so that would have just made things worse. So I had to chill. I had to step in with confidence and poise. So for you, this is where your flexibility is going to show up. Once you write down those 3 things, it opens up creativity and possibility. Because if you think about it, before that, when you're in that threat mindset, you only see one path, and that's to retreat. That's to challenge the change. But this analysis is going to open you up to pathways and options. And that's why I say do 3. And finally, only now can we choose one of those paths. This is where we respond. And the cool thing about the CLEAR framework is this is happening in a matter of minutes. Take small steps. Change is not won in grand gestures. Change is won in small actions from every single individual in this room. The change is not going to make you. Can we get agreement to that? You are going to be the change maker.
When Jevon explained all the information about different changes, I went through that in my life, being in the military as well, communications, been in the same situation, and you have to adapt to a lot of the changes.
I really like the clarity and the simplicity with which you described how we could work through change quickly.
I'm part of the ERP team for our new ERP, so I'm gonna try to use some of those things when we're going through the new steps on that and developing that, and try not to be so scared of what's coming next.